turn dreams about the draft into reality. NFL fans descended upon Detroit this weekend to find out which team future stars will play for.
Yeah, they're trying to talk with cities that aren't going to get a Super Bowl because of the weather, and they might be able to host things like this. We're learning Cincinnati is serious about hosting what's quickly becoming a three-day sports spectacle. And we've got WLWT News 5's Todd Dykes live outside Paycor Stadium with where things stand. This would be pretty neat if you ever landed something like this, Todd.
Yeah, pretty neat with all capital letters there, Mike, at least in my humble opinion. You know, after what was an electric weekend in the Motor City, there really is a vibe of energy and optimism that is brewing right here in Cincinnati. That's because if the stars align, and of course that is still a very big if, the NFL draft could be coming here to the Queen City by as early as 2028.
Detroit was on fire.
Christy Coon's role as president of the Urban League of Greater Southwest Ohio landed her a sweet gig Friday night, announcing the Bengals' second-round pick in the NFL draft.
In that arena that night, it was incredible. I've never been in an atmosphere like that.
It's an atmosphere that raised the profile of Detroit, the draft's host city. Coons hopes that same burst of fan-fueled hope and energy will soon come to Cincinnati.
Absolutely. There's no greater fan base than Cincinnati Bengals fans. And so I know we could pull off a draft and it will be the best one ever.
Julie Calvert, president of Visit Cincy, feels the same way and is working to bring the draft here in either 2028, 29, or 30.
So there is massive demand for this, and these things are massive reputation, economic builders.
Calvert went to the draft in Detroit with Bengals officials to see how things unfolded, all with an eye toward bringing the NFL's second biggest event behind the Super Bowl to the Queen City.
We're exploring the possibilities, and we were really encouraged by what we saw.
Calvert said work is underway to give Cincinnati an edge when NFL owners consider future draft locations.
We're working on now, and you see all these cranes in the air, we're working on the new convention center. We're going to have a new headquarter hotel. We're talking about the possibility of arena. And then, you know, even further down the road, perhaps decks over Fort Washington Way, which might be the ideal location to host the draft. We know we can do it. We've got the past track record of success to do it. And all those things build upon themselves to open themselves up for bigger things.
Now, you heard Julie Calvert just then talking about adding decks over Fort Washington Way. That would be over I-71, just about a block north of where I'm standing right now outside of Paycor Stadium, if local officials can pull that off. And of course, the big question on that front is at what cost? It would add new city blocks to downtown Cincinnati, city blocks that could one day host an NFL draft. Reporting live outside Paycor, Todd Dykes, WLWT News 5.
Todd, you're talking a lot about the city's involvement. What about the team? You're there live at the stadium, home of the Bengals. What kind of role would they have to play to get this thing?
Yeah, Mike, you know, the role that team officials will play in all this, it's going to be significant. You know, Julie Calvert with Visit Cincy told me there's going to be a new version of a sports commission launched by the end of this year. Once formed, members of that group, along with input from the Bengals, will explore in very detailed ways what it would take to bring the draft here to Cincinnati. Mike?
All right, it would be great, that's for sure. Live at Paycor, Todd Dykes for us. Thank you.